Let's just start by remembering or acknowledging the fact how much beauty in the connection between you and the audience can be when you are giving time to perform and others are listening to you. One of the questions I would like you to ask yourself is, why would you want to perform? Why not to stay at home and play for yourself? And the answer that you will find must come from you and you only. And that's a place where you will feel safe, you will feel trustful, you will feel secure about your decision. Because so many times when you're actually going on stage, you're confronted with that very, very uncomfortable question that you never dare to ask yourself. Why am I here? Why am I going on this stage? Why? And the most traumatic answer would be, is because I was told to do so, is because I'm supposed to. That's probably the place, the most unsafe place to be, if that's your answer in that moment. A healthy answer to that question might sound something like, well, because when I play for myself, I feel joyful, but when I share and when I connect that joy to 100 other people, where we tune on the same vibe, where we celebrate music the same way, where we united with the same feeling, that would amplify that joy 100 times. And that's maybe why you would want to play, because you love to connect and you love to share. From this place, you might discover another beautiful and the most natural thing. When you try to connect with a person, you want to be relatable. You want another person to feel what you feel. So ask yourself, if you want to connect with someone, would you rather memorize a perfect speech and recite it in front of the person, in front of your friend, or just go with the flow and improvise and feel all the feelings that arise in now to respond and communicate and build that connection? Because keep in mind, another person is in that improvisation mood as well. Your friend did not memorize a poem to recite for you when he wants to communicate his feelings, when he wants to ask how you feel, and when he wants to share how he feels. So that leads to a very interesting discovery, that when you play, especially for us classical musicians who tend to never improvise and tend to just simply memorize, and the only thing we want to avoid is to make a mistake. And this is a very, very delusional place. That's another place that might lead you to have this panic attack and performance anxiety, because it's not true. When you want to connect with your audience, you have to improvise. And how many times you were actually more engaged in the performance when you felt it was live, when you felt actually the musician would make a mistake, would make some funny mistakes, when the whole audience would laugh together, and it would be so engaging, and it would feel natural. It's a very important thing to understand here, and almost change your mindset about performance. If you're coming from the place, if your why is in, I want to share and connect to amplify my joy, and so we could rejoice together and feel bliss together and feel sorrow together. If that's your goal, then you have to resonate with another person. You have to be on the same vibe with another person, and for that, you have to improvise. For that, you cannot recite what you've been memorizing, and I know you've been playing that piece 100,000 times, played it many, many times. But you have to let go of the idea that you need to deliver your best perfect product with no mistakes. That will not help you connect with your audience. I would invite you, when you come to the piano, the best way to describe it is you have to give up your ego and the feelings that you associate with the death of that ego. So you will probably experience a lot of fear when you come to the piano. We all get nervous, all of us. So you have to rest in that fear. If that is the fear that you will make mistake, you will stop, you will forget the score, you will have this awkward pause, maybe you will have to start over again. All those fears that just creeps your mind, that contracts your whole body, your whole existence, you have to let it be, and you have to say that's not important. Even if that happens, that's not mistake. Actually, I would like it to happen. In fact, if that happened, that will engage the audience much, much more. I was told when I was in Russia by my classmate that she was one of the best. And she would say, when I go on stage, I know everyone is just waiting for me to make a mistake. And I know it was said in a very negative way, but in a way it is true. I mean, we are so happy to see that another person is also not so perfect, because we are not perfect. So then we resonate, we understand, we vibe. So you give up that fear that you will make mistake. Want to make that mistake, it's okay. And I would invite you just dissolve yourself for something, dissolve all your small little thoughts. Is it exactly why you were practicing all the time, to experience all those fears about your small ego desires? Not really. When you give up your ego, when you let yourself to be just a vehicle, a channel for something much, much bigger that all of us can feel and all of us can relate to, a spirit, a soul, a universe, existence, God. When we let that take us as a vehicle and speak through us and deliver the energy that will touch the heart of people, then it also helps to overcome anxiety, because in this case, somehow you stop being responsible for your performance. You consciously stop taking any responsibility for your performance. You take responsibility for your practicing great. You take responsibility for giving up your ego and all your fears. Allow yourself to die in a way. So on the other side, something beautiful, something light, and something the most natural and relatable would come out. Yeah. I can hear the birds. I'm gonna jam with them together now.